I think, I mean, it depends. Like
Sure.
I'm gonna more likely to respond to emails than LinkedIn. I'm rarely on LinkedIn, so like
Yeah.
the emails is my inbox. I'm
Right,
gonna
right.
respond. If I have a point of contact with that person and they flag it in the email or the LinkedIn, like, oh, I went to McGill, saw that you did this and this, like would love to meet you, or like I was at Goldman and FIC, like saw that you transitioned to VC. I'm interested in doing a similar transition. So that's one. And then the other part, it's unfortunate, but like depending when you send it, like
I totally agree.
it's like sometimes I'm super busy and it's about week at work, and like it's not my priority to respond to 15 emails.
So let's just take this back maybe a year and a half when you were at Goldman. You know, next week we're gonna have someone who's actually an analyst at Goldman talk, but you know, to your point, we'll talk a little bit about your experience on the recruiting team at Goldman, right? So you were on the recruiting team, whether it's for FIG or for the analyst committee, et cetera. And by definition, you get a lot of people, and I tell students this, you know, when you network, it's helpful to know people at the firm and at the recruiting team, et cetera. So as a first year analyst, you're super busy. So what are things can students do? If you're trying, so I'm trying to get, you know, time with you to just chat about Goldman or investment banking. So would the same things kind of apply? Like right time of year, like right time of whatever,
Exactly. And like don't hesitate to follow up. Like sometimes I won't respond to an email just because I'm too busy, and having someone, especially if you're doing it in a nice way, like 2 or 3 weeks after, by the way, reach out to you, like still very interested to meet you, and like connect, like not just sending me an email that I felt like you could have sent to like 1,000 different people, but like feel there's somewhat in connection. Like you're almost making me feel bad, so I'm definitely gonna respond saying like I'm very sorry, I was busy. And like,
I agree with that. I think follow up. I've talked to enough people in the industry now where I think you follow up in a tasteful way 2 to 3 weeks out. Frankly, a lot of the bankers are looking for kind of the second reminder. You know, we don't do things the first time. Right?
I mean, it's the same thing for us, like especially in venture capital. Like at this point, I have a lot of founders and entrepreneurs reaching out to me, and like those people that are going to be successful at building a business are people that are committed and like will not take no as an answer. And like you like to see that when someone reaches out like 3 times and it's like, I think you should meet us. Like this is a really interesting business concept. Blah 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 blah. I think that's it's good. It showcases a good, especially if it's done in the right way. Like if you do it in an aggressive way or passive aggressive way, that never works.
I totally agree. And I think this is a good. Obviously, McGill's great school, but not necessarily a target for all the banks. Not target for all the banks. So I think in some sense, there are a lot of lessons here where, look, a lot of this is things have to kind of go your right way, whatever. But, you know, if not for Goldman, I think, you know, you were probably positioned to go to kind of any of the banks. So just kind of being prepared up front with your you know, what you need to be prepared in, but also knowing people in the industry, et cetera. We'll get to interviews in a second. It's like, what do you remember about your interviews, you know, when you were interviewing for banking? So like the process, I guess, from McGill, but generally maybe, you know, at GS was even, you know, you get a group of people applying. The biggest challenge is frankly getting from the application, you know, to the first interview. So what are things that people can do? We talked about networking a little bit, but what are people? We'll get to interview in a second. But what are things people can do from that point when they submit a resume or before they submit their resume to kind of get it on the short list of the recruiting team?
In my case, and I mean, it was the case at Goldman, I assume it's the case seeing it from the other side. Like if you reach out to people, alumni from your school, like those people have a say in helping people get in the interview process, because they're going to be like recruiters are going to ask them like, oh, you went to McGill, like we had those, I don't know, 20 candidates that applied for McGill, like do you know about like the stuff they were involved in, like the extracurriculars, their grades, like what do you think that means, and like do you have a couple you recommend? And obviously like it's easier to flag that like, oh, I spoke with these 3 people, those who were really sharp, like I recommend that we give them an interview. Like I have no say if they're getting an offer, but at least I'm putting them in the interview process. So I think reaching out to alumni from your school, for especially like for a non-target school like that, was extremely important. Going back,
and then the resume itself, like what do you want to put on it? Your experiences, how do you position it? I guess, you know, we as on the other side, like having looked at probably thousands of resumes now, what do you spend? Maybe like 2 minutes max on a resume.
Yeah,
right?
So like, I remember when I was in college,
right?
And people kept telling me like they're gonna look at your resume for 10 or 15 seconds, and I was like, that's ridiculous.
And then you put hours and hours of time on it.
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, it's very sad, but I do a lot of recruiting now for SoftBank, and I get, I don't know, 20 or 25 resumes every week. Like I definitely do not spend more than 20 seconds on a resume. Thanks to that doesn't mean that like your resume, like hundreds of people are gonna look at it. So like your resume needs to be perfect in a sense, no typos. A typo is like that person did not take time to review their resume, like that is not. So make it reviewed by a lot of people. That's like a no-go for sure. Definitely gonna look at grades. Definitely gonna look at like some form of interest, especially now at the VC, like where people have had jobs, like some form of interest in finance, whether it was like they wrote articles like about investing in one of those blogs, like they had internships, or like they had a good banking job, or they had a good consulting, or whatever it was. Like they have some form of interest, and then like I'm gonna look also at like activities and skills they put at the bottom.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
I think like leadership and like
my resume.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm less likely to read are the sub bullets describing all your activities. You, it's that, but like if you want to have something pop up, like make sure that it's very targeted and like not passive or like descriptive, more like action item results.
I think a couple other things